a trait that helps an organism survive in its environment. Adaptation. Adaptation is when a living thing changes over time to better survive where it lives. Imagine you're trying to stay cool during a sweltering summer day without air conditioning. Just like using a fan or wearing light clothing helps you cope with the heat, a trait that helps an organism survive in its environment acts as a natural solution to its challenges. In this analogy, the fan or light clothing represents the adaptation, which, like the trait in an organism, provides a way to handle the specific conditions of a hot day, enabling better survival and comfort in that environment. The pattern of behavior with which an animal is born. Instinct. Instinct is an automatic response or behavior present in animals that doesn't need to be learned. Imagine trying to assemble a piece of flat pack furniture without any instructions, relying solely on intuition. This situation is similar to how animals rely on instinct, as they are born with an innate instruction manual that guides their behavior without needing to learn it from scratch. Just as your intuition helps you piece together the furniture by recognizing patterns and fitting parts together, an animal's instinct equips it with pre-programmed behaviors to help it navigate the world from birth. A behavior that is learned from experience. Learned behavior. In science, learned behavior refers to actions or reactions that organisms acquire through interactions with their environment rather than innate instincts. Imagine you're trying to find your way to a new coffee shop without a GPS and end up getting lost the first time. This experience is similar to how animals and humans learn behaviors by trial and error, gradually understanding the correct path through repeated attempts. Just as you learn the best route to the coffee shop by remembering the mistakes and wrong turns you took, learned behavior develops from experiences where the individual identifies which actions lead to successful outcomes, much like learning the best way to navigate to a new location without a map. The preserved traces and remains of an organism that lived long ago. Fossil. A fossil is the hardened remains or imprint of plants or animals from the distant past, preserved in rock. Imagine walking into an old, dusty room and finding your grandmother's favorite chair with an indentation where she always sat. This chair is like a snapshot of the past, capturing a trace of her presence, much like how fossils are the preserved traces of organisms that lived long ago. Just as the indentation in the chair tells a story about your grandmother's habits and presence, fossils reveal the existence and behavior of ancient life, preserving a moment in time for us to study and understand. The death of all members of a species. Extinction. Extinction is when every individual of a species has died out and that species no longer exists on Earth. Imagine your favorite coffee shop goes out of business and you can no longer enjoy their unique blend. This situation is similar to extinction because just as the coffee shop disappears from your routine, a species vanishes completely from the ecosystem. In both cases, something once available and perhaps taken for granted is no longer present, leaving a gap in your daily life or in the natural world, just as the coffee shop's closure leaves a gap in your morning ritual. The extinction of a species leaves a void in the biodiversity of our planet. An adaptation where an animal protects itself by looking like another animal. Mimicry. It is when one species resembles another to avoid predators and increase its chances of survival. Imagine you're at a party and you don't know anyone, so you try to blend in by dressing similarly to the group. This tactic is much like mimicry in nature, where an animal evolves to look like another more dangerous or unpalatable animal to avoid predators. Just as you avoid standing out to prevent awkward situations, animals use mimicry to protect themselves by adopting the appearance of creatures that predators avoid. effectively hiding in plain sight. A behavior that is inborn, not learned, inherited behavior. Inherited behavior is a natural action or reaction that an organism is born with, rather than acquiring it through experience. Imagine how you instinctively know how to balance on a bicycle after years of not riding one. Just like how your muscle memory kicks in without conscious thought, inherited behaviors are actions organisms perform naturally without needing to learn them. In both cases, the underlying instructions, whether it's muscle memory for cycling or genetic coding for behavior, exist inherently and guide the action without prior learning or practice. To sleep during the cold winter when the animal has limited food supplies. Hibernate. Hibernate is when animals enter a deep sleep like state to save energy during the winter. Imagine when your phone battery is low and you're far from a charger, so you switch to power saving mode to conserve energy. This situation is similar to what animals do when they hibernate because they need to manage their limited energy resources during the winter. Just like your phone reduces its activity to save battery life, animals slow down their bodily functions and enter a state of deep sleep to survive the cold months when food is scarce, ensuring they make it through until resources are abundant again. The color adaptation that helps an animal blend into its surroundings. Camouflage. It allows animals to hide from predators and prey by making them harder to see. Imagine trying to find the perfect outfit for a party where you want to fit in seamlessly with the crowd. Just like picking clothes that match the event's vibe helps you blend in, animals use color adaptation to camouflage themselves within their surroundings. In both cases, whether it's fashion or survival, the key is to become part of the environment. Humans do it by choosing the right attire, while animals do it through natural coloration that makes them less visible to predators and prey.